We have kind of 3 different options built in for handholds. Oftentimes a therapist may go through all 3 in a single session, or they may focus on one or the other based on what the person's needs and abilities are. The seat, one of the things that you see with the seat.
It comes in handy.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it is an electronically height adjustable seat. So it's something that if you had a person who is a little bit more fatigued or they had weakness in their quadriceps, you might set that seat a little higher. So that as they're getting up, instead of having to come from here all the way up, they can come from a little bit higher position to a standing. Then as you start to want to challenge them more, you put it lower and lower and lower to give them challenge. So not only are you working on the walking, but you're working on the sit to stand transfers, which before you walk, you have to stand up. And so this gives you your chance of being able to work on that simultaneously. For the clinician, one of the key features is that capacity. Clinicians love to get their hands on and help. That's just part of our nature. And so as you can see with Stacy, she's really using that seat as a support place where she can then help guide, provide a little assistance. But what's different from this compared to partial body weight support treadmill training is with partial body weight support treadmill training, Stacy might also be having to lift and advance that leg. Here she's not having to do any lifting, so it reduces the amount of demand on her body substantially.
I got to be your cheerleader, remember?
Yeah.
You told me that yesterday.
Yeah.
Nikki was just on this yesterday too, so she's 2 days in a row.
Good for you.
So it's kind of nice too because we can, yesterday we aimed for 10 minutes total, but she had to sit down 3 or 4 times during, so we can sit down and then start it back up again right where we left off. So it makes it kind of nice for that, whereas we're going to try and get her to 5 today.
So if you were doing partial body weight support treadmill training, when the person goes this, oh, okay, thank you. All right, well, thank you. When you're doing partial body weight support treadmill training, one of the challenges is you oftentimes have to have the person take a few steps back, or you have to bring the wheelchair up onto the treadmill for the person to be able to sit down. So this makes for an easier transition as well. Stacy just moves out of the way, or not.
Yeah, sometimes it's a hurry. I always tell her, don't sit down until I'm out of the way.
Yeah.
Don't sit on me.
Why did you select to use the ICARE? What is it about the ICARE when you're thinking in terms of technology and your repertoire? You have a lot of tools that you could be using. Why ICARE?
I kind of like it. You want to sit?
Yeah.
Let me get out of the way. I like it because you can kind of normalize her gait pattern because you get that equal step length. It forces her to get that equal step length. And I use my hands to facilitate like her hips to put more weight through the weaker side. And then I can use my hand also to keep that knee from snapping back like it likes to. So it's just kind of nice to get your speed moving.
Yeah.
And your gait pattern a little bit more. Not a lot. I like to push through her hip to put more weight through that left side, and then I just barely put my hand back there more for her, so she remembers not to. Yeah. Yep.
And Stacy, does your hand wear out from doing that?
Not really.
Okay.
No, not a ton.
Well, I think the cool thing that you were saying was just being able to position yourself behind her, whereas on the treadmill, I mean,
I'd have to be down
you'd
here.
have to be down to the side. You can't push on her hip. I mean, now you're all of a sudden having 2 therapists to do one job.
Right.
So there's a big efficiency that goes behind that.
So we had done a survey internal to Madonna, and you'll actually see this on a slide back there, but one of the things that we had found is that clinicians' bodies often wear out before the patient's body when you're doing partial body weight support treadmill training. And so that's why I was asking Stacy is, for providing that assistance, is how fatiguing is it? Because if it's very, very fatiguing, then the weak link in the system becomes Stacy fatiguing.
Exactly.
And so that's important when you're designing a therapy, is you really want to be able to challenge the individual as much as possible.
I'm ready to finish if you are. She doesn't take long to rest. So
Dr.
You're
Burnfield.
doing great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Burnfield. Did you do a study on the skeleton, on the PT that you show, in which they have a...
longer than 5?
Yes, and we'll show that later. And I feel like I tell you everything. We always say we'll show you later, but yeah, we got a lot of things to show you later, huh? Yep. What? Can I ask you your thoughts on why the ICARE for you, and how does it compare to?
feels good. It works good with me.
So it just works well with you.
Yes.
That's a good answer. There are no right or wrong answers. I should have prefaced it by that. It's really just
Yep.
understanding for you what it brings to the table.
Right.
And it's kind of nice too to be able to adjust the stride length
Yeah.
because, you know, and sometimes a person can't really tell the difference between one stride length and another, but you can, once you use it enough, you can tell if it's working for somebody. We've actually used the different stride lengths to stretch somebody out because they have a tight hamstring.
Yeah.
So we start them at a lower stride length and every minute we bump it up. So we have tons of different options with it, which makes it really nice.
You are doing beautifully out there.
Yeah.
I am
I'm
really.
not-
You wanted to get to 5 minutes, you're just about there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, yesterday we had to sit down about probably 4 times. We ended up doing 10 minutes, but, and actually I have you set for 10 minutes, I forgot. But if you're done, you let me know. You're at 5, but we can go longer. Go a little longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
You look like you're a Husker fan based on the T-shirt. Is that?
I am.
All right.
Gotta be.
Go Big Red.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. I don't know if we have any competitive teams in the audience here, but I love your spirit.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions for?
Excellent, thank you for letting us watch you work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
just one thing.
Uh-huh.
As far as like joint pressure from like walking on a treadmill versus this, is it a lot better on your knees and your ankles and things like that?
Yeah, there's no pain on the knee at all.
Or there would be in terms of like walking on a treadmill, you sometimes have that pain. Okay.
Look, but you can't do that.
And you can get up and wave.
Yeah.
Well, which is nice too, because if you don't have that pain, all of a sudden you want to do more and you want to keep pushing yourself, and you're not limited because of that pain. So
Right.
I think that's awesome.
Where are you, like, when you were doing, yesterday you did 10 minutes, and today you're doing great. You're, like, not even paying attention. You're just keeping going through. Where were you, how much do you do on a daily basis, like other type of things, walking on a treadmill?
I do walking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mostly outside.
Every day.
And then is that kept on increasing? Like, how long have you been using the ICARE?
What, 4 or 5 weeks?
Probably off and on. We've had some issues with her brace and stuff like that we haven't been able to get on it every time, but
Gotcha.
I think we've been pretty consistent, I would say, the last 2 weeks getting on it.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
So have you increased stride length? Have you increased stride length
Her,
then?
not really.
Okay.
We kind of keep it similar with her because we're not really working on
Right,
range of
right.
motion. We just want to keep her even because when she walks, she tends not to take as big of a step with that
Right.
left leg, which is, on a treadmill, we couldn't control that unless I was down there moving her leg for her.
And that makes things potentially unsafe for a
Yes.
person on a treadmill as well. When they don't have the ability to clear their foot, if they're dragging on a treadmill, you can imagine it doesn't stop when your foot doesn't move.
Right, right. Oh, there's huge safety.
What do you like best compared to the Locomat?
I've never worked on an Alcomat. I haven't been trained on it yet, so I don't really know the difference, but this is more, I guess you would say, for like a higher level,
Yeah.
They don't need as much assistance, but it's similar in the fact that using the automatic, you can get that, trying to normalize the gait pattern, kind of like what the Locomat is used for.
How is the learning curve on learning how to use this and to control it, Stacy?
Very little. It's pretty easy. Patients pick it up right away.
How about the
it's-
clinician?
I haven't had no problems with it. I've been on ellipticals before anyway, but so that made it easier myself. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to. It's pretty user friendly, I should say. Sometimes it's like, oh, which button do I push when? And sometimes I've accidentally restarted the whole thing and instead of just hitting start again. So nothing big though. Got a minute and a half. You can do it.
Yes.
So it is kind of neat to see doing it 2 days in a row. Like yesterday we had to take 4 rest breaks and now we only had 1. I know you're starting to get tired.
My leg is.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Yep, it's starting to bend. Do you need to sit?
Yeah.
Let's make it to 9. 10 seconds. And it is kind of nice because her holding on with her upper body, just come to thinking when she used to get more fatigued, she'd be halfway sitting on my lap, but I still had time to get out of the way before she'd have to sit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yes, thank
much.
you.
You did great on there. Way to go. Way to go. And Stacy, thank you so much for taking time in your
Thank you,
schedule to
Stacy.
share.
Thank you very much.
Increasing every day.
Thank you so much for letting us join you. You're helping train the generation that's going to train the next generation. So thank you.